Alright guys, before we get started and create our class and code our character, let's add some simple things. To do that, go to the edit, project setting, roll down in the engine category, click inputs, and you have action mapping, axis mapping, and speech mapping. Click 4 times on a axis mapping by clicking on this plus option. And what's the difference between action mapping and axis mapping? Action mapping is actually basically you're gonna say if I press W you have to do something, but axis mapping is different. You actually say if I press W give me some value or scale. For example, press W I'm gonna get 1 or 2, something like this. So first input is actually vertical move, section 1 is actually horizontal move, and next one is mouse X, and last one mouse Y. So let's talk about the vertical movement. Actually we use it for going forward and backward. Horizontal movement we're gonna use it for example going right and left. Mouse X we use it to, for example, rotate our camera in the x-axis, and mouse Y we actually use it to rotate our camera in the y-axis. So for vertical move and horizontal move we need 2 more bindings. So to do that, click on this plus option here, and the same thing for horizontal movement, and we have another binding. So first thing for vertical movement, we're going to choose W. For going backward we're going to use S. So let's find S, and that's all you have to do. Now for going to the right we're going to choose D, and for going left we're going to use A. And here we're going to change the value of S to -1 to going backward, and for A we're going to choose it -1 to going to left. And mouse X we're going to use mouse X, and for mouse Y we're going to use mouse Y. Sorry, mouse Y. And actually if you change the scale of these for example input, and you actually change the sensitivity of your character okay, but you can't change the sensitivity in settings or add the options such this, but you can do change the sensitivity here too. So close this panel, and now we're gonna create our class. To do that, come to the content drawer and click on this button here, and you show the source panel. Go to C++ classes and your project folder. You can see I have I create our character before because I don't have really time to create another one. So, and there is a game mode base here. It's not something special, and so don't mind it. Now right click and click on the new C++ classes, and you can see you have so much options here. You only need character, and here we're gonna say character, something like character. You can choose any name you want depending on yourself. Choose the path. I think you better do not do this because every source file and header file is supposed to be in the same folder. And after that just click on the create class. Alright, after you actually create your class, the Visual Studio will be open and you have your source file and header file. And before we get start coding, I actually use Visual Studio 2019, so keep that in mind. And now we have to add some includes, and what is includes, they actually use it to reference other classes in our project, and we use them to use some options here such as movements, inputs, and more. First include, we're gonna say include, we're gonna choose it from game framework / character movements components dot header file, and next includes actually camera. So we're gonna say camera / camera, sorry, oh my god, camera, what the camera components dot header file, and class include, it will be from a component section, component folders, and slash, we're going to choose input components dot header file. Easy as that. Now we have to create our camera. So to do that, roll down and you can see there are sections here. We have to go and into one of them. For example, this public here. If you don't know how to create, you have only go. What you have to do is actually say public and or private and something like this. Here we're gonna create our camera. So we're gonna use U property, and here we're gonna use edit anywhere. Sorry, edit anywhere, and category, we're gonna choose, for example, what is it called, camera. Okay, so what you probably do is actually allow you to, for example, use options of your variables, your camera inside the editor. So keep that in mind. What is it? And we're gonna create that camera. So we're gonna say u camera. Oh my god, u camera components, multiply it by name such as camera, and easy as that. Now you create your camera, but still it's not finished because you don't create it in the editor. So to do that, go to source file and come to your character function, and here we're gonna say camera is equal to create default sub object, I think, and we're gonna choose the name for it, u camera, type of it, u camera component, and here we're gonna choose a name, and we're gonna say camera, and here we're gonna attach our camera to root component. So to do that, just we're gonna say camera attached to root component. And here we have a problem. Let's just fix this. I think it's because of this. Yeah, make sure to write the object not capital. Do not write capital, and that's basically what you have to do, and your camera will play it. Now let's our inputs. So go to the header file and we're gonna create a private section. So we're gonna say private, and now we're gonna create our functions. This one is for example for a horizontal move, and we're gonna just call we actually have to create a variable inside it. So we're gonna say float data, and now we're gonna just copy this and paste it 3 times, and here for this one I'm gonna call it vertical move, and for this one I'm gonna call it mouse X. For this one I'm gonna call it mouse Y. So basically, if you use Visual Studio 2019, you have, or Opera, I don't know, you have the options such as quick action. But if you don't know, if you don't have it, you can just simply go back to the source file, and here we're gonna say void your actually character name or character class name, and here we're gonna say our, for example, function name, to move, and then we're gonna choose our variable, and that's simple as that. Now let's just copy this, change the name of them. For example, this one was vertical move, this one for example be mouse X, and this one mouse Y, and that's all you have to do. And now we have to call our what is called move input. So to do that, come to the setup player input component. It's a function that allows you to use input components, and here we're gonna say input components be relative to bind axis, not bind action. And here we're gonna choose the name, for example, horizontal move. We actually want to choose what name we put for our input, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna say this class, and we're gonna say which function now you want to call. So we're gonna say from our character and horizontal move, simple as that. Now just copy this and paste it 3 more time and change the name of them. For example, this one, vertical move. I just speed up this part. Alright, after you've done that, you actually in a half of the way, so great job. Now we have to create our movement. So for horizontal movement, we're gonna use add movement input, and what it do is allow you to character to move in the basic direction we're gonna tell him. So the direction you're gonna move is actually right. Get actor right vector, and here is so important, we're going to use data. So for example, if horizontal movement have a data of 1, you have to go to the, for example, right, and if it was -1, you have to go to the left, so keep that in mind. Same thing for vertical movement, we're going to say add movement input, and here we're gonna, instead of saying get actor right vector, we're gonna say get actor forward vector, and here we're gonna use data too. This is really useful code, so you can use it anywhere, and that's all you have to do. Now let's get to mouse Y and create our character and make our character to rotate. So here we're gonna say, actually, if I wanna make sure how can I say it, let's go here, and you can see I have, for example, I have a character here, right? If I want to look up, you can see I have a limit, right? For example, I can see my back and more. So we're gonna do the same thing here, because if we're just gonna say rotate in the y-axis, you're gonna see your back too. So we're gonna fix this. We're gonna say use a variable called by, for example, t, something like this, depending on yourself, and we're gonna say get, for example, camera, and relative to get local, relative rotation, and here we're gonna say pitch plus our data. So what it do is actually get the direction of the camera in the pitch axis, and that's all you have to do. Now we're gonna say if we have something on our data, we have some data, okay, we're gonna say if t, for example, was bigger than -90 and was, for example, less than 90, you have to do something, for example. And here we're gonna say camera, and here we're gonna say add local rotation, and we're gonna use f rotator. Actually, instead of f vector, we're gonna say f rotator. And here we have what? Let's see. We're gonna choose 0 for I think no. We're gonna choose data for a pitch, and 0 for yaw and 0 for a roll. That's it. and you done the mouse Y. Now let's get to the mouse X. So here we actually should turn our character instead of camera. So to do that, we're gonna say if we have a data, alright, we're gonna say add, for example, actor local rotation. What they do is actually rotate our character. So we're gonna say we're gonna use a rotator, rotator here, and we're gonna use 0 for a pitch, data for a yaw, and 0 for a roll. Easy as that. And you're done. You really done a great job. And now just save this back to Unreal Engine and click compile. Alright, my code compile, and let's actually drag our character into the scene. Just right click and drag it into the scene. Simple as that. And here you can see we have our camera, I mean character. And if you come to the word aligner and click on your character and come to the details, you can see you have a mesh, you have camera, you have a capsule, and more. First, let's change the camera location and bring it a little bit up, and that's all we have to do. But before we actually play the game, let's add some very important things. First things first is actually player. Auto poses player, and we're gonna choose player 0. What it do is actually allow engine to do not create a default character, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna disable, where is it, use controller rotation, yeah, so do this too. And now just hit play. You can see I can look around, move forward, backward, going left, right, going left, and more. And that's all you have to do. Now let's add a jump ability. So to do that, we're gonna go back to project setting and add one more input. We're gonna call it actually we're gonna this time add action mapping, and I'm gonna call it jump. And we're gonna choose a space bar as a keybind. Simple as that. Close this panel, back to our Unreal Engine, and here go back to a header file, and we need another function. Here we don't need data anymore, our variable data, and we just need this. I just call this function jump, and let's go here and create a void our character. What was that? Okay, jump. And now here we're gonna say jump. Easy as that. Really, you actually don't have to anything else. Unreal Engine do everything, such as calculating, for example, physics and anything. You don't have to work around the z-axis. But actually, I'm gonna create a video. If you like it, I'm gonna create another video and talk about how to create jump ability by yourself, not using jump function. And here we're gonna actually call it. So this time we're gonna say input components, and here we're gonna say bind action, not bind access, and we're gonna call choose the name, pick a name, not pick name, find our name, and here we're gonna say IE press. Simple as that. So IE press means when this button, key binding is actually pressed. So, and we're gonna say this class, of course, and we're gonna say which function. So we'll say our character and jump function. Easy as that, really. Now just save back to Unreal Engine, click compile, and wait to compile. Alright, my code compile and let's play. And you can see if I jump, press a space, you actually can see I can jump easily. So you really don't have to do anything else. That's simple as that. So thank you for watching this video. In next video, I'm gonna give our character ability to slide, and we're actually gonna give an ability to sprint. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a fantastic